So we're going to be doing an in-depth video on each of the new LEGO Harry Potter set reveals for March 2023, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Room of Requirement. We just did the second task. I'll leave an annotation on screen now, up there, where you can click that and take a look at that video, but today is going to be the Room of Requirement, and this set has 587 pieces, 5 minifigures, and retails for $50 or £45 and €50 as well. So a pretty good price to part ratio, looks like a good set. Let's get into it. So starting off with Harry and Hermione, these two minifigures are the minifigures I am most excited for, and the reason for that is because they are Deathly Hallows variants of these minifigures, which we have never gotten before. So these minifigures are obviously there for the Battle of Hogwarts. This is basically what the scene is, and I've been waiting so long for that Harry figure in his brown jacket from the Battle of Hogwarts. I'm so happy we're getting it in this set. The only thing I would say is I wish the legs on Harry was actually dark blue rather than normal blue, but that's the only criticism I have of these two figures. Maybe the Hermione hairpiece could have been moulded differently as well, with a tight bun on the back, because I think the hair looks quite a bit different in the film than it does with this actual LEGO minifigure, but this is nitpicking at this point. These two minifigures, in my opinion, are the highlights of this set, and there is also other great minifigures, so let's get into them. So we have Draco and Blaise Zabini. Now, Blaise Zabini, I don't think we've gotten him before. I'm pretty sure we haven't. If we have, let me know down in the comment section below, but I'm pretty sure this is a brand new minifigure. With Draco, I think this is a fantastic minifigure, and he looks exactly the same as when he's dressed, you know, in the Half-Blood Prince on the Hogwarts Express in his black suit. I think it might actually be the same minifigure. Looks fantastic regardless. So those two minifigures are fantastic, and then we get a grey lady, which is just brilliant. To get more LEGO Harry Potter ghosts, that's 3 we've gotten so far now. Nearly Headless Nick, Moaning Myrtle, and now the grey lady, and the grey lady just looks absolutely fantastic. I wonder if we'll get the other house ghosts now. I mean, it's curious, because what sets would they come in? Like, what set would the Bloody Baron or the Fat Friar come in? I can't really think of any. Maybe a collectible minifigure series for Harry Potter in the future, we would see the Fat Friar and also the Bloody Baron, but that's the only place I can think of getting these other minifigures. Now, regarding the accessories in this set, there's actually 2 points I want to make. One is a really good point, and one is a really bad point. Starting off with the good point, and that's just getting Ravenclaw's diadem, because if we didn't get Ravenclaw's diadem in this set, we would just never get that piece, because Ravenclaw's diadem only ever appears in the Room of Requirements in Harry Potter films. That's it. It basically never leaves that room, so if we get literally a set of the Room of Requirements based on the Deathly Hallows and we didn't see it, we would never get that piece, but thankfully we do get it, so that's really, really good. Now, the thing which I'm not too impressed with is the broomsticks. So earlier this year for the summer wave, LEGO basically remade the way that Harry Potter broomsticks work, so they are now 2 detachable pieces. They made a brand new mould for the end of the broomstick, and we obviously get just a normal sort of pole piece to stick on it, and we can customise our broomsticks in many different colours, which was the advantageous part of that technique. But they've basically forgotten that and reverted back to the old ways of just having this old broomstick mould, which has been about, by the way, for like 30 years. I'm pretty sure this came out in the early 90s or something ridiculous. Now, going on to the build itself, one thing to note about it, it is very modular, just like other LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle sets we've gotten in recent years since the 20th anniversary. They're basically in modules, so you can take them apart, put them back together however you want, and this also accommodates for that, which is absolutely fantastic. The second point I want to make, this looks absolutely huge. Like, you gotta think, this is a $50 set, £45, €50, and you look at the size of it, you're getting good value for money, because you've got to think, earlier this year in the summer wave we got a $50 and £45 set as well, that being Sirius's Rescue. That set only came with 3 minifigures, none of them were really new, and we also only got 300 odd pieces. This is basically 600 pieces, and we get 5 minifigures, so nearly double the minifigure count and double the piece count for the same price. So value for money here is obviously fantastic, and you can see that just not in the parts count but in the volume of bricks that you get. The actual size of the build is very, very large, and I think it's well worth the money. Now, the architecture of the build doesn't really distinguish too much from the other sets, but that's a good thing. You want it to sort of blend really well when you attach this to your other Hogwarts expansion sets. You know, everything from the light tan exterior with the medium nougat bricks to the sand green roofs is all very common that we've seen, and I don't think LEGO are planning to recreate and reinvent the way that Hogwarts Castle sets are being made, because they've already done that once from 2018 to 2020 and then switching over to this style, and I think they're sticking with this. Now, moving on to the inside, this is where it gets a little bit bare in my opinion. There isn't too much interior, and the room of requirements, I mean, there is a lot of stuff in the room of requirements in that Deathly Hallows film. There's a massive pile of just books and chairs and pieces and stuff like that, where the diadem obviously falls in that big pile. And it is kind of represented here, but it's definitely not represented enough in my opinion. We seem to get a few cabinets and like an armor helmet piece thing, but I mean, a lot of this is very naff, and I would have liked if LEGO spent an extra $10 to really bulk out this interior, because I think you can go far with $10 worth of pieces to make the interior really good. And you know, because I'm going to be basically tempted just to buy other parts and use parts in my part collection just to make the interior more bulky and more messy, because the room of requirement is a very messy, busy place, and this interior doesn't reflect that very well. Now onto the curse, which is obviously the fire snake. I think this is really, really cool. There's a lot of people I see online who are suggesting they should have used a lot of the part count into making this thing brick built, but I completely disagree, because it would have made the set a lot smaller, the actual build of the room of requirement itself, and I would have preferred a bigger building. I think what they've given us works really well, because it's basically the same sort of mold and piece as the basilisk they gave us in the Chamber of Secrets set, and that was fantastic. There is nothing wrong with reusing that mold and making it orange. I think it works really well, and maybe have some more trans orange elements to make it look a bit more like fire, but honestly I think this is absolutely fine. So that about wraps up my thoughts and analysis of this set. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's the best set of the wave. I think it's definitely better than the second task set, though I really like that set as well. I would give this set a solid 9 out of 10. I think if they spent an extra $10 to bulk up that interior, I think it would have been a 10 out of 10. So I definitely recommend getting this set day one. I definitely am. I've been TopicBricks. I'll catch you tomorrow for another LEGO Harry Potter video. I'll see you there.